Wherever you look at Munich's Oktoberfest, you'll see people in traditional Bavarian dress, especially in the beer tents. Here, everyone wears Dirndls or Lederhosen, whether off the rack or designer models.
I'm from Munich and it's just part of it.
They're usually family heirlooms that are passed down from generation to generation. It's pretty cool.
It's tradition, reawakening memories of how things used to be, and it's about being proud of Bavaria and Munich.
It's a lot of happiness, a lot of celebration to me, the Dirndl.
These days, getting a traditional Bavarian costume is no problem. More and more designers are creating Dirndls and Lederhosen. Lola Paltinger from Munich is internationally known for her creations. Her outfits cost around 3,000 euros.
A few years ago, Dirndls became trendy, not just for Oktoberfest, but also as a fashion statement which celebrates the female form. The Dirndl is simply part of this spirit and Bavarian way of life that everyone wants to be a part of. When it comes to their outer appearance, people want to feel they belong too.
With designer Dirndls, almost anything goes. But with the traditional costumes of yesteryear, every detail, including the color and length of the dress, had a meaning. Often there were even differences between the clothing of neighboring villages.
I go out like this to show my feelings and support for Munich and Bavaria.
It's not just for Oktoberfest. I wear a Dirndl every Sunday.
Simone has explored the phenomenon in a book. She found that the Dirndl as we know it isn't all that old. Its origins lie in the working clothes worn by country women. It became more elaborate when city folk began wearing it at the end of the 19th century.
Wealthy families, the ones that could afford it, spent weeks at a time at summer resorts. And there must have been a very creative seamstress there. We can't really trace it anymore, but it was somewhere on the border between Salzkammergut and Bavaria, in the vacation region. There's a smock that's worn underneath. That's what women young and old wore to do farming work in the countryside. It was checked or a floral print, and she created a vacation outfit from it.
One difference between designer Dirndls and traditional ones is that the traditional ones never change. They might even tell you about the social status and background of the wearer. This historical legacy is still observed by many. Bavaria and Austria have hung on to the custom most tightly. That's one reason why many think of Dirndls and Lederhosen when they hear the German word Tracht, meaning traditional attire.
In principle, the Dirndl is an extrapolation from historical folk costume. It's about the shape it gives the wearer, with wide skirts, a narrow waist, and then a bodice. A Dirndl does that too.
Dirndls are the outfit for women attending the Oktoberfest. Meanwhile, the men have to put on their Lederhosen.
I come here every year, but without the right garb, it's only half as much fun.
Well, I wear it because you're sort of obliged to at the Oktoberfest.
But in Bavaria, people also go for the look outside of Oktoberfest, like here in Berchtesgaden. Here they've been making Lederhosen by hand for more than 120 years. When the business began, they made clothes for farmers and laborers. The embroidery pattern has been the trademark of Lederhosen made by the Stangassingers for generations. Franz Stangassinger has been in charge for the last 15 years.
I had a client who had a pair of Lederhosen from 1890. He even had the original bill from our company's founder. He told me that his great-grandfather had them made here. They were passed down to his grandfather, then to the father, and now he has them. So he's the fourth generation to wear them.
Even though the Oktoberfest calls for traditional Bavarian dress, Dirndls and Lederhosen are now established as global fashion.